Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're about to uncover a 700-year-old architectural marvel. And honestly, the most amazing part? It is hidden right away in a lush Indian rainforest. You're about to discover a site of profound spiritual and architectural significance that literally just made global headlines.
So did you know India has pyramids? Seriously, think about it. Usually when we hear the word pyramid, our minds immediately jump to the sun-baked sandy deserts of Egypt, right? But what if I told you that deep in the green, misty valleys of Assam, India, there lies a vast royal necropolis? Now, these aren't your typical stone prisms in the sand. They are massive, highly engineered earthen mounds built specifically to house divine kings for their epic journey into the afterlife.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the Pyramids of Assam, how they engineered these earthen masterpieces, their royal burial customs, the living ancestor connection, and finally we'll wrap up by busting some major myths.
All right, diving right in. Section 1, the Pyramids of Assam and the legacy of the Tai-Ahom Dynasty.
To really grasp what these structures are all about, we have to look at the people who built them, the Tai-Ahom clan. They migrated from China in the 13th century and established a powerful kingdom in the Brahmaputra River Valley that endured for an astonishing 600 years. Back in 1253 CE, they established their sacred capital, Charaideo, which became the sovereign cemetery for their monarchs. Now at first glance, the Charaideo Moidams just look like natural rolling green hills, don't they? But these are actually meticulously crafted, hemispherical earthen mounds designed not just as graves, but as literal physical homes to house divine kings for their journey through the afterlife.
Let's do a quick comparison here because it's pretty fascinating. Both the Egyptian pyramids and the Charaideo Moidams serve the exact same fundamental purpose, preserving royal lineage and ensuring the departed kings achieved immortality. But they adapted to completely different environments. Where Egypt used giant stone blocks to create stark geometric prisms in the dry desert, the Tai-Ahom people engineered massive earthen hemispheres that blend seamlessly right into the lush, wet, and vibrant valleys of northeast India. So, just a quick recap to lock that in. Built by the Tai-Ahom Dynasty over a 700-year legacy, the Charaideo Moidams are essentially Assam's answer to royal pyramids. And their significance is so profound that in July 2024, they were officially inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Moving right along to Section 2, Engineering Earthen Masterpieces. You know, before these masterpieces were even built, the site selection was wild. According to canonical Tai-Ahom texts, workers would literally toss an egg up into the sky. Exactly where that egg shattered on the ground, boom, that spot was deemed spirit-free and was sanctified to become the site of a new tomb. And the word Moidam itself comes from two Thai words, moi, meaning a resting place, and dam, meaning the spirit of the departed. So when we talk about a Moidam, we are definitely not talking about a simple grave. We're talking about a Holy Spirit dwelling, a miniature cosmos built just to entomb a soul.
The engineering inside these structures is honestly mind-blowing. The ancient texts detail 5 very specific architectural components. First up, you've got the Gar, an octagonal boundary wall representing the Thai cosmos. Second is the Moidam, the massive earthen hillock itself. Third, the Tak, which is a void or dome chamber. Fourth is the Garvha, the deeply excavated underground vault where the body actually rested. And finally, right up at the top, the Chou-Cha-Li, a temple-like pavilion.
If you look closely at the top of the structure, you'll see that brick pavilion, the Chou-Cha-Li. Now, this wasn't just there to look pretty. It functioned as the moang, basically a celestial stairway linking the sky and the earth so the spirit could descend during worship. And to hold all these bricks and stones together, they didn't use modern cement. No, they used a unique, highly durable organic mortar made from, get this, duck eggs, black gram, fish oil, sticky rice, and snail lime. This mixture, called kara songal, is a massive reason these structures are still standing centuries later.
Quick recap for the engineering side, a Moidam is far more than a pile of dirt. It's a highly engineered 5-part structure using brick, stone, earth, and some incredibly creative organic mortar, all precisely designed to securely house a royal spirit for eternity.
All right, let's get into Section 3, Royal Burial Customs and the Journey to the Afterlife. What actually went down inside that underground vault when a divine Ahom king passed away?
Well, the sheer scale of what was buried with these monarchs is staggering. Kings did not go into the afterlife alone. The royals were embalmed and placed in elaborate wooden caskets called rungdong, and they were buried with an absolute treasure trove. Gold pendants, ornate ivory toggles, royal insignia, weapons, ceramic wares, you name it. Historically, they were even buried with livestock, attendants, and spouses to serve the king in the next world. It was the whole shebang. The funeral itself was an epic final voyage. When a king died, his passing was actually kept top secret until the new ruler was crowned. The body was preserved and mummified for 3 to 4 months while the massive Moidam was being constructed. When the time finally came, the body was transported from the capital in this grand palanquin procession led by priests chanting sacred verses. But what's super interesting is how this tradition evolved. By the 18th century, Hindu influences led later kings to actually be cremated. Their ashes and bones were then entombed in the Moidams, which created this really fascinating blended burial system.
So, to sum up this section, Tai-Ahom kings were sent off with vast treasures, royal insignia, and retinues in these grand, resource-intensive ceremonies. And over their 600-year rule, those burial customs actively adapted and evolved, absorbing new cultural influences along the way.
Which brings us to Section 4, the living ancestor connection. Because the story of the Moidams definitely doesn't end when the vault is sealed. For the Tai-Ahom people, ancestors aren't just distant figures from the past, they are a very active, guiding presence today. You can see this connection perfectly in Moidam Mi-Fi. Let's break that down real quick. Mi means offering, Dam means ancestors, and Fi means gods or spirits. Together, this represents a sacred ritual that literally bridges the living and the dead. It's built on this core belief that the living community and their departed ancestors share an unbroken spiritual bond.
And this isn't just history. It's a vibrant, living festival, celebrated every single year on January 31st across Assam. The community gathers to make offerings of rice, eggs, meat, and wine to the principal ancestral spirits and cosmic deities. But it's way more than just a religious rite. Moidam Mi-Fi acts as a sort of cultural classroom. It's where the new generation learns respect, gratitude, and customary knowledge. It literally takes a 700-year-old historical memory and transforms it into a lived experience, anchoring the modern Tai-Ahom identity.
Recapping Section 4, the Moidams are not just dead ruins. They are spiritually linked to the living through Moidam Mi-Fi, an annual festival where the Tai-Ahom people actively connect and honor their divine ancestors, keeping their rich heritage completely alive.
And finally, we've made it to Section 5, myths and misconceptions. Now, as magnificent as these structures are, they face some severe existential threats, mostly due to a massive lack of understanding. The biggest myth out there is that these were just natural hills or simple piles of dirt. But the fact, as we've clearly seen today, is that they are precisely engineered tombs. Because they looked like natural hills, they were incredibly vulnerable. Back in 1662, Mughal invaders realized they held gold and heavily looted them. And it gets worse. During the British colonial period, tea planters literally demolished the ancient brick shrines and walls of these tombs, using the materials to build their tea factories and homes. Thankfully, local awareness pushed back hard, and today they are fully protected by the Archaeological Survey of India.
To wrap up our final section, despite centuries of being mistaken for mere hills, plundered by invaders, and demolished by colonial planters, these engineered marvels are now globally recognized, protected, and celebrated.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. The Ahom kings built magnificent, holy mountains of earth and brick to touch the heavens, preserve their lineage, and guide their descendants for 700 years. It kind of makes you wonder, what kind of monuments, physical or cultural, will our modern generation leave behind to guide the future? Think about it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey to the pyramids of Assam. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.